All right, guys. Today we're gonna be doing quite possibly the longest video I've ever made. So, real quick to just give you some context, this is the Empire Speed Team, and I've been doing their weekend Sundays speed skating training sessions where they do laps at Prospect Park and they go over some technique. The guy speaking now, his name's Adiel, and I think he's the leader of the group or one of them. So yeah, first today, not only is it going to be the longest video, but I'm also testing out a special rig I got. It's like goes on my chest, has a bunch of quarter mounts, and I actually have a 360 camera on my back, like a third person setup. And we're actually gonna see the whole thing. There's no cut. It's a straight, like, just continuous laps. I actually met a few people who said they saw my previous video when I actually did the marathon, and how they wish I would have shown the whole thing. So they're definitely gonna get it now. Okay, so what I'm wearing right now, as far as skates, are the Endurace, not the new ones. They're the model from like 2 years ago, actually. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I just started doing this again. I'm trying to get back into shape so I can do the marathon this year. It's supposed to return this year, though they haven't officially announced it. And this is my third session doing it. So one of my initial problems was I hadn't worn the Endurace in a while, and I didn't remember how they fit. So I went through 1 week where I just got an absurd blister, and I actually posted that on Instagram. So if you followed me, you saw it. It was this massive blister because the skates were on the big side. And then the following week after that, I put on a footy over my sock, and then the skate was too tight to the point where it was just painful. But anyways, so this group is the Empire Speed Skating Group, Empire Speed Skating Team. I think it's called Empire Speed, actually. And it's like a core group of members. Though they have some like members that come in and out, but it's usually the same people, and they train every Sunday. They actually have 2 sessions. I think there's one on Thursday, which is led by someone else, but I've been doing the one on Sunday. And this is the first hill here, so it's pretty fast. Even though we're not going too fast today, we're actually keeping a moderate pace. But I think what we're working more is like group skating dynamics. Now, I have an urban skating background, and you would think that this wouldn't be that different, but speed skating is significantly different. Obviously, in technique, the way you push, but also other like etiquette and things you do. So, for example, I'm primarily an urban skater, and something I would never do is be this close to another skater. Now, when you urban skate, you kind of want to be able to see what's coming up ahead in case there's something to trip you or something in the way, and you can dodge it. If you saw my previous videos where I worked my way towards the marathon, I learned how terrible wind resistance can be. So when you're going at these speeds, you go faster when you do speed skating. You have speed skates, larger wheels. You can build up speed a lot faster, a lot easier. And at a certain point, wind resistance is so crazy. It's so powerful. You have no idea how powerful it was until you hit high speeds. And if you're not in the group, in the slipstream, in the line, that wind will slow you down an insane amount. So that's one of the things that's like particular to speed skating, especially if you're skating in a team. The team helps each other. So the person in the front takes the most wind. The people in the back have less resistance. They build speed and they actually push the team ahead. And that's something I struggle with. You can see me right here now. I'm playing with my phone, but I'm not good at keeping close to the group. And it's because I guess I don't have the trust because I'm an urban skater. I don't really like being that close to people. There's other issues I have too. So pacing is something. So initially, I didn't understand how to keep my pace. And what would happen is I would end up going too fast, and then I would crash into the guy ahead of me or something. Or I would try to match their pace, but I felt like I got more power out of my strides, and then I ended up going faster than them. And that's an issue. Now, initially, I kind of thought that was a problem, but later on, I was told that you're supposed to push the group. So essentially, if you do feel like you're going a little faster, just transfer that energy into the group because it's kind of a team thing. So here you can see I kind of fell back because we're actually taking turns leading. So Adiel said, fall back, and I'm new to this, and I fell back, but it's actually the person leading. We lead for a while, and then we take turns swapping. Because, like I said, the guy in the front usually does more work because he takes most of the wind resistance. Now, as you can see here, I still have an issue with the gap. I'm still pretty far from this guy. Like I said, it's odd. I usually don't ski next to people this close. I also, not accustomed to just touching per se people while skating, and that's like kind of part of it. You have to be so close that occasionally you have to tap the guy's back, to transfer energy or to just you should just be that close. And that's something that I'm working on. I'm getting better at. So yeah, right now, like I said, hopefully you guys hang in for the whole video. I am here drinking some coconut water, and I'm just going to be talking my way through this whole thing. So yeah, I'm really trying to get back into skating, like a lot more, and this has been helping me. Steadily going to speed skating training. It's kind of hard because I'm not a morning person, but recently I have become a morning person because these things meet up at like 8 a.m. and they're in Prospect Park. And I'm from Astoria, so I have to travel there. I have to wake up extra early just to travel there. So that makes it harder too because I generally don't eat breakfast. Like as you can see here, the gap is way too big. I should definitely be closer. So this rig was a little confusing. I feel like the pole that was on my back holding the camera wasn't long enough. So then you have this weird over-the-shoulder shot, which honestly didn't do much. I probably would have been better off just having the camera on my head. But it's weird because I'm in the corner of it. I'm in the corner of the shot, and if you guys know fish eyes or 360 lens, they distort things on the edges of them, so I'm constantly being distorted as I'm on the most curved part of the lens. So here, see, she misunderstood that she was supposed to lead, so he said draw back, and she fell back when she was supposed to be the leader. So here, this dude's falling back, and now we have a new leader. The gap is huge. IDL is telling us to get closer. Now, this park has so many hills. So there's a bunch of issues. I think there's a bunch of issues in this park. The ground occasionally gets terrible. And when you're doing something endurance-based, you really want to keep your stride as much as possible. You want to keep all that energy. And then there'll be these steep parts, and then the floor will get terrible. And you're like, when you're tired, you're going up that hill, and you're losing energy to all those cracks. It's the worst. And on this day, as you can see, some of the ground is actually still wet because it rained that night. And occasionally I would lose power and slide in one of my pushes, so I had to be careful. It also looks like I'm standing really upright. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know how forward I should lean. I feel like I'm really top heavy, so it's kind of hard for me to lean forward for too long, and my back starts feeling it. So maybe I stand too upright. I'm not sure. It's like one of those things I have to work on. The form is different. I remember doing this, and I don't feel like I was this far from her. It might be the 360 lens, a lot of distortion on it. But this is that wet ground where you kind of slide out. And we're actually going uphill now. I said I hate these like wide angle lenses. They make the world look flat. So Aliel's actually giving advice to us while we skate. So he looks over us and he gives input on our technique and what we can correct. That's pretty cool of him. That's pretty nice. He's really good at this. This is super easy for him. This pace is nothing. He's like flying around front and back and checking up on our technique while we skate. It's pretty cool. So here I'm leading. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm looking back. I don't know what the pace should be, And I think this is kind of uphill too. So yeah, this is definitely uphill. I really do hate the distortion on this camera, but this is uphill. So I'm not sure if I should slow down for the sake of the group or I should go faster. It's kind of confusing. But yeah, I'm leading here. So the hardest part about these parks are these hills, and eventually they're my demise. Every time I go up them, it just chunks a lot of energy out of me that I ultimately won't recover. This is one of those places with the terrible ground. See, rough ground. They just said it. So like it's the steepest part of the whole loop, and the ground just sucks. It's a terrible combination. So here I think we're approaching the top, and it's gonna flatten out. So they told me to fall back. I'm falling back, and now I go to the back of the line. So there he goes giving advice. And he was talking about my stride, how I'm pushing back when I should be pushing more like sideways. And I think that's something that's related to urban skating. You in urban skating, you don't really want a wide stride all the time because you're often amongst cars and lots of people. And in this scenario, you want these wider, longer strides to get more power. See, the gap is pretty big here. So he's telling her close the gap. I actually think she's one of the first people to fall out of the group because this keeps on going and people eventually do drop out. And those who want to just go for the full marathon, which is 8 laps. Yeah, it's not advised to like have large bags, and I'm actually carrying like a lumbar pack, like the girl in front of me is. And I carry a lot of things with me, like equipment, so it could kind of get in the way, but I kind of don't know how to carry less. This is her. She's falling behind. I'm telling her we're falling behind, and I'm warning her that we do more work when we're not in the group because we take more wind. And from the camera, you can definitely hear the amount of wind. The resistance is real, so it's best to be with the group. The leader tanks most of the wind. You have less wind resistance, and you push that power back into the group and back into the leader. I'm also told that I'm placing my hand in the wrong place. So that's one of the things I'm worried about. Like, you're supposed to place your hand around the lower back. And if you place your hand higher up, you're more likely to push the person over, versus that if your hand's closer to their hips, you can transfer the power into them better. Once again, those kind of the things that I'm learning. I don't really do too much or too often. So I think here we're approaching a downhill. Or it's flat, one or the other. It's really hard to tell with these cameras. I think we're flat. Yeah, we're flat. I honestly don't know what pace we're holding. I do these skates with a smartwatch, and I don't track it for some reason. Like, I have the apps and I have the equipment, but I just never do it. Here I go with my water bottle, which eventually gets increasingly hard to like catch that pocket. I just struggle to do it. You'll see it. Also, I don't recall how many laps I did. I think I ultimately only do 4 laps. I'm not sure, to be honest. So we'll see now. I'm not even keeping track. So you see the guy in the front pointing and warning people where the things are. You gotta warn each other because, like I said, you skate pretty close to each other. So the guy in the front is pretty much the eyes for the group. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm wearing Endurace, and it's definitely different in many ways because it's one, it's a tri skate. I don't really tri skate, and two, it's 125 millimeters, which is like the biggest wheel I ever ride. So I think here we might be on a hill or approaching one. I'm not sure, but we definitely have a lot of speed. Yeah, so I think this is the biggest hill in the park actually. So there's like the trade-off: the lower you squat, the less wind resistance you have. But it's actually hard to hold that squat for too long. So you have to find like the perfect place, where you're low enough to not have wind resistance, but you're not too low where it would burn your legs. It's like doing a wall sit. It's kind of hard because I felt like it was like on the taller side of the group. So when they squat, I have to squat like a lot more because I felt like I was taking a lot of wind resistance. But if I were to squat to get as low as them, it would be lower. And it just felt like I was being taxed more because of it. I don't know how fast we're going here, but it's definitely somewhere around 30 at the fastest point. Once again, we're not really going too fast into it to begin with. It was pretty moderate pace. The goal today was more about, just learning how to work in a group and, skate in a line. So here I'm leading again, and I don't think I can I'm just gonna like deviate, I guess, from what I'm talking about and use this time to just update you guys because this is gonna be kind of repetitive. So yeah, for those who haven't seen the recent episodes, I'm finally back in New York. I'm trying to skate a lot more and be more active and post as much as possible. And I'm not saying I'm completely out of shape, but I'm definitely not in the shape I was when I first did the marathon 2 years ago. So that's why I'm training up to it this time for a lot longer. The last time I did a marathon, I think I literally did 3 speed skating trainings and then just went to go do it. But it was completely different because at the time I was a courier. Right before it, I was a courier on skates, and I did an episode about it. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. And I was doing that for quite a while, and because I was a courier on skate, I was constantly traveling. I was doing 20 miles a day minimum. That's at work, and then after work, I would go to like Wednesday night skate. So I was skating an insane amount. Um, right now, I'm coming back from Kansas. I was in the Midwest for a while, and over there, I wasn't as active. I was still working out. I was probably doing a real skate once a week, because I could only, meet up with their Tuesday night skate group on Tuesdays. I also had lots of breathing issues in Kansas. I don't know what it was, but something there definitely gave me an asthma attack. So here at DL's talking about my stride and how I should push and end more on my heels than on my toes so I can drive more power into the ground. I guess I'm doing like a toe thing, and I've been warned against that, like not to finish a stride with your toe because you don't really deliver as much power into the ground, and also I hear that leads to blisters more. So you kind of want to drive from your heels. I guess it's similar to something like a squat or a deadlift where you drive from your heels and you don't really use your calves as much or at all. Speaking of working out and workouts, um, Sunday is my leg day. So for those who don't follow my Instagram, I'm pretty active in the gym. My gym life is probably equally as big as my inline skating life. I like to work out, and I'm constantly posting gym selfies on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me, go check it out. And Sunday's my leg day. So in the morning, I'll do speed skating, and then I'll have a big breakfast, wait a few hours, and then I'll go do legs in the gym. So on Mondays, it's like my legs are done. I can barely walk. This might be the second or third lap. I haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry. I think we already lost someone. Yeah, I think someone fell off already, actually. The girl with. No, no, she's still there, actually. There you go. She has the with the fanny pack. I see. She's still there. But people do eventually fall out of the group, including me. So this is like a really long video. So I guess I can use this time to engage the audience. If you have any questions about, the speed skating team, the Empire Speed team, and their meetup times, and just anything about getting into speed skating, I guess you can leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer you. Once again, this is those hills. These hills will tax you. These are the ones that like chip away energy, and you never recover from. They're very difficult. I don't know if you can hear my breathing now. But it's gonna eventually just get really heavy, and you probably even hear it over all this wind. But yeah, these things really do tax me. I really do feel it, and you'll see it. I eventually do fall out. Oftentimes, you'll see me like struggling, and I'm either all over the place, or what I tend to do is like on the hills, I kind of stare at the ground and try to forget what I'm doing. Because this is a really steep hill, and I really hate how flat it looks. You can see the guy on the bike kind of wobbling and struggling his way up. You can see this gap getting bigger. You see this gap between me and the group. Every time we go through this hill, this gap will get larger, larger to the point where I just can't keep up with them anymore. And it's really hard. You really do have to tank your way through this. You just force your way up this hill because it is not easy. Fortunate for me, I will catch up to the group. I keep a steady pace. You can hear me cursing. I'm definitely feeling that burn. And this time I'm able to keep steady and catch up to the group ultimately. But as you see, it just stacks, and eventually I do fall off. So see, I'm leading here, and he's warning us. He's warning me not to accelerate too hard. But I don't even know what that means, to be honest. Like I've never led, You know, I'm not even sure how fast we should be going. Um, I'm not really looking back, to be honest. So I don't know. I'm kind of worried that if I go too slow, like I'll slow down the group. And I guess like it's okay to occasionally feel someone touch your back. That's kind of like, part of the thing, part of it. But I almost like wanted to go fast enough where someone wouldn't touch my back. If that makes any sense. But I'm not sure. Where's the line? Like I don't know how close I should be to the guy behind me, or in front. Like definitely like I don't know. It's just like this whole distance thing is weird to me, and I'm still trying to feel it out. Yeah, at DL, look at him. He's just zooming forward and back with the group. Like it's pretty cool. It's like this doesn't even phase him. So I guess while I'm here lately, I haven't. I don't think I've done any like shout outs to my patrons, but I'd like to thank all my patrons for supporting me. So I'd like to thank all my Binny Plus subscribers, my Binny Bladers, which are Sith, HP, Sniffles, Sonic Sports, and I'd also like to thank goodnightjournal.com. They're my only like what it's like the corporate level or company sponsor. It's a I know the guy who runs it. He's my friend. I skate with him actually, and it's kind of cool. It's he's a blader, and it's a blader owned company, and it's a online journaling platform and community. It's cross platform, and so it's available on whether you're on a browser or Android or iOS. And he's cool enough to give a promotion where if you use the code BladeNY, you can unlock a premium account with special features at a discount. So if you're interested, check out goodnightjournal.com and use code BladeNY. So once again, this is a long video. It is the longest video I've ever done, and I'm honestly just running this, giving commentary. Thank you if you're still here for sticking through. Um, so once again with this like touching thing, right? So there's actually a point here. I'm not sure when it'll come up where I'm like really tired, and like I get like this sudden burst of energy, and I catch up to the group so fast, and like I feel like I'm gonna push someone over, and I hit them really hard, and it like I was really concerned about it. I actually had to apologize afterwards because like I wasn't sure whether I pushed them too hard, and that's one of those things I'm not sure like how hard I can be pushing into someone, or But it said it was okay as long as I pushed in the right spot. When it comes up, I'll say it. I don't know if it came up yet. So this is that like getting really close. This is that really big hill. We're not trying to take wind resistance. So you have to stay close, you have to stay low. I know here it looks like I can see a lot, but in reality, I don't see that much. I see a lot of the person's back unless I just look over their shoulder. So there's a lot of like faith in it. It's, like I said, I'm not accustomed to that. I'm a city skater. I don't stay close to people. I gotta evaluate the situation constantly so I can adjust and dodge things. But here I stay really close. My vision is very impaired because it's mostly the guy in front of me. This is a third person camera, so you're looking over my shoulder. You can see a lot more than I actually see. Oh yeah, and I'm taking all those sweat to the face because I'm pretty sure I'm the back of the group. I think I'm the last person in the line, and as you can see, some sweat actually got on the camera. So like people's sweat is like hitting me straight in the face. I'm actually the only person here not wearing a helmet. The only helmet I have is on the heavy side. I have to get one that's more like, I guess like speed and lightweight oriented. Because the one I have is kind of like a skate park helmet. It's heavy and very padded. And it's just kind of annoying to wear when it's really hot. And in this case, it is. I think what I'll do is next time I'll get like a speed skating helmet and I'll put one mount on it and I'll put like a 360 camera on it on my helmet. I guess it'll be a good angle to see forward, but I don't know. It doesn't really provide much context as far as me when I was skating. I don't know. We'll see. So as you can see here, the gap is there, getting tired, starting to feel it. I don't have a lot of water. Maybe I don't drink enough water, but not everyone here has a water bottle. But I definitely feel myself getting dehydrated throughout these things. It is hot and it is continuous. The water bottle I had wasn't very big, and I actually had been drinking it along the way. Um, so yeah, I started getting thirsty and all that stuff. I think I'm wearing a headphone in my left ear actually, now that I remember. I didn't keep one in my right because I had to be able to hear, uh, IDL or just warnings. I am wearing a headphone in my left ear, I think most of the time. And I'm listening to music to make this a little more bearable. This is an incline, I believe. Not a crazy one, but you definitely feel it. Like I said, like I think the third time, these 360 cameras, these wide angle lenses just distort so much. Yeah. So the ground we just passed is terrible, and we there's like this clear space to the right, and then we go to it every time. And there's that manhole. I remember that. But right before that, the ground is so bad, and it just feels so good to just veer to the right eventually and just get back to smooth ground. Is this the third lap? I'm not sure. Is that the third time I saw that guy? So there's like a cross guard guy there or something, and he makes jokes or says something like snarky every time we go by. It's pretty funny. I remember him warning the guy in front, whoever's in front right now, that hey, there's a bunch of people, following you. Just in case you don't know, I think that's a joke he just made, something like that. This might be the third lap. I don't know. Might be the fourth. I think it's the third, and I like the starting of a third lap, maybe. Write it in the comments. I'm not keeping track. I think I've been in front twice already now. These are the hills that you feel. You know, this is particularly difficult for me because, especially now, I've been working out a lot and I haven't been skating a lot. And I kind of made the BS excuse that I was like bulking and I was just putting on a lot of weight uncontrollably. Still getting strong, but still probably gaining more weight than I should have in the process. So coming back to something like this is just so difficult because this is definitely not a large person sport. It's like, you're supposed to be lean and all that, and I'm definitely not that. I don't know what I'm doing there, but apparently, like summoning chakra or something. I don't know if you saw my hands, but I'm starting to feel the hill, and I'm like, come on, we got this. Hopefully. This might be the hill I fall off on. We'll see. Because his pacing is fast. I don't think that I was going like slow. Maybe he was just going too fast, and I guess that may have been the issue. Yeah, I'm like staring at the ground the whole time. I just don't even want to think about what I'm doing. I'm just feeling the burn. There you go. See, I'm just warning them that I can't heal. I can't keep the pace, and I don't want to hold the group back. So I told them that I'm gonna break off. I don't know if this is the one where I ultimately break off permanently, but it might be it. We'll see. So here, Adiel's telling me to stay with the group, just get through it, keep pushing. As you can see me here, I'm all over the place. I recall being like lightheaded. I don't know if you ever had that lightheaded feeling when you run for too long or if you lifted too much. I was definitely feeling that. My goal was to just not stop and just stay with the group because in theory, if I were to keep like a casual pace, I can definitely do the 8 laps. But my goal is to stay with the group. Yeah, you can hear me. I'm not. I'm starting to fall apart on this one. As you can see, I'm actually catching up to the group after that long struggle. I don't know if it's because I'm like heavier or something, or maybe my wheel size, but the hills are really difficult. But I gain a lot of speed on the downhill. Like I feel like a lot more than the rest of the group. There you go, boom. I came in fast. I swear to God, it felt like I was gonna push him over. I'm pretty. Yeah, I just apologized. I swear to God, I felt like I was just gonna throw him on the ground because I came in real fast. Yeah, the next time we go to that hill, I'm not gonna make it because I barely made it that one. You're gonna see me just burn out completely. Oh, look, Adiel just dodged someone. So he's telling me like I just gotta tank the hill. I just gotta get through it because you eventually will catch up to the group. Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of like delirious. I remember. You can see me. I'm all over the place. I am staring at the ground, trying not to think about it. But I'm just, I'm done. I'm starting to feel the fatigue, and I'm not recovering at this point. See, this is that whole thing where like, I kind of gain too much speed, and then I'm worried about how much speed I have, and I almost feel like if you stop pedaling, if you stop pushing for like that one quick second, you lose so much speed. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Like you'll gain too much speed, but then if you stop pushing, the gap grows so fast. And that's one of those things about speed skating that I'm trying to understand, like how to maintain speed and how to keep pace. Because now look, the gap is big. It like accordions too much. I feel like I get too close. I feel like I slow down for 1 second and then the group leaves me. It's just like something I'm struggling to grasp. So for those who are still here, once again, thank you. It's like the longest video I've ever done, and I'm just voiceovering the whole thing. I said it earlier. Some people who had seen my marathon video said they would have really liked to see the whole thing so they can understand what Prospect Park is like. So if they want to do it in the future, they have an idea what they're getting themselves into. So that's why I decided to just show the whole training. It's like a 50-minute long video. If you have any questions about things I've said or things I haven't mentioned, feel free to leave them below in the comments. And once again, thanks for making it this far. I think this is a downhill coming up. You would think that I would know this by now, but like I said, these cameras distort everything. You know, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is a downhill. This is the biggest downhill in the park, I think. Last year, when I was doing this during the marathon, I had something recording, like numbers recording, and like I said, I was much healthier then, and I hit it much faster. And I recall hitting like, like mid low 30s on this hill. It was pretty amazing. The speed's real fast. As you can see, we're zooming by bikes and everything. I'm kind of grabbing his shirt now that I look at it. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that. Like I said, I think I'm too tall. I gotta sit more, so I'm taking more wind than I should, and I feel maybe I was falling back. May have grabbed onto him a bit. Yeah, and like I said, it's my first time using this third-person rig. Uh, I'm wearing like a whole chest thing that goes around my chest. It's like a metal plate, with some padding, and a bunch of quarter-inch mounts. I don't even know if this angle is that good, to be honest. So let me know in the comments I am considering getting a lighter helmet and just putting a 360 camera on that. Let me know if you would prefer something like that, or if this is okay, and then maybe I just need a longer stick between the mount and the camera so you can see more of me. And I definitely don't want to be holding Pascal Brand. I think I'm probably butchering his last name. Does this, and sometimes another YouTuber does it too. A speed skater will hold the stick while speed skating and use like your standard selfie stick 360 camera angle. But I'm new to this, and quite frankly, it's like a lot for me to like. It would be a lot for me to do something like that. I'm already pretty bad at it, and the last thing I need to do is worry about this like camera, being in front of my body. Especially if I'm doing like the whole group and I'm really close. The last thing I need is like to be like dodging the selfie stick so I don't hit the guy in front of me. That's why I'm trying to avoid that. Maybe if you're solo skating, but when you're in a group and in a line, I kind of don't want to be holding the selfie stick. So you can see this gap is pretty big. Once again, it's something I have to stop doing. Taking a lot more wind than I should. I should be closer. Oh, see that biker right there? Pretty hard slowdown to dodge those people. There's a lot of people here and bikers. This park is pretty busy. And this is pretty early, like I said. This is like probably like 9:30 by now. Yeah, see, look at this gap. Look how big it is. I'm definitely out of it. I'm staring at the ground. I don't want to think about it. Pretty sure this is that hill. There's like two hills. There's like a decent hill and then a like terrible one after it. And I think this is that decent uphill. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. I'm losing the group. I'm pretty sure this is it. Like any second now, I'm just gonna fall off. I am not gonna recover. Once again, this is that like terrible ground. The floor is wet. I'm struggling to put power into the ground because I'm having none of it, and then to have any form of slipping or tripping just sucks right now. See, I don't know if you just saw those holes in the ground. They totally suck, especially when you're tired. This gap is massive. I'm taking all the wind right now. No benefit of being in a group. A lot harder than it should be. I'm working extra hard just because I'm falling behind. Oh, I think this is it. They're going and I'm not. Yep. Yep, this is the end. I am done. These hills. This park has a lot of hills. And every time I hit it, it just like depletes my energy and it like to the point where it can't recover. And I just lose energy more and more every time I go to this hill till I have none. At this point, I pretty much knew that I lost the group. And if I were to just like pace myself at a comfortable pace, I can definitely do the 8 laps, the 42K. But like my goal was to stay with the group, and I know I lost at this moment. I'm just staring at the ground. This in my head. I'm just finish this lap, and you can call it a day. But I was pretty disappointed because I think I only complete 4 laps, and only like 3.5 of them was with the group. But I am just getting back into this, and I'm still figuring out these skates. Like I said, the first few times I had issues. I think this is the third time back on them. And what I did is I actually got the footies I had. So I had Anui footies, and they were the ones with the thick padding on the side. So what I did is I actually cut out that padding, so it's just the neoprene part, and I wore no socks. I just have the neoprene footing on, and that's how I wore them this time. And I didn't have foot pain at all. I just got tired because the previous times I actually dropped out even earlier because of the amount of pain I had in my feet. So once again, this is me just like waddling my way through the last remaining part of the fourth lap, which I think the fourth lap, pretty sure it is. Yeah, like I said, these 360 cameras make everything look so flat, but this is a pretty steep hill, and I'm definitely feeling it. Running out of water too. I think that was my last drop. So once again, this is the longest video I ever put out, and I showed the whole like speed skating training. I didn't cut out anything. It was just straight up raw footage. If you made it this far, you pretty much made it to the end. Thank you for sticking it through. If you have any questions or comments about any of this, leave it down below, and I'll definitely get to it. Thanks for, you know, getting through this with me. So after the speed skating meeting, we always end it with like some apple cider and bagels. There's like a pretty good bagel spot around here, around Prospect Park, and we always go there to get food. And for me, it's like the first thing I eat all day, so it just feels so great to like eat a big meal after all this, and drink some really good apple cider. It's a running joke that it's secretly an apple cider cult because everyone buys it and everyone drinks it. How much more do we have here? Good Lord. I'm like reliving the pain. I can see how much I'm struggling. All right, I think this is it. I'm finally making it to the starting point, and God, like, good Lord, did it feel good to finally make it there? Because I was so tired at this point. Even though I'm going super slow, like my legs are like recovering from that burn, because that final hill just burned the living hell out of them. And at this point, I have no energy. I have had no breakfast, and I'm just ready to make it to the ending. Like this girl on the bike casually cruising is going faster than me. I'm just barely waddling my way through this last lap. All right, I think this is the ending here. Yep. And I think this is the completion of the fourth mile. If you have been the fourth lap. If you have been counting, leave the comment below how many laps I did. But I can only really do 4 with the, or 3.5 with the group. I made it to the fourth, and I was more than happy to just finally take my skates off and get to eating some breakfast. Once again, if you've made it to the video, I appreciate it. Leave your comments below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna do some legs today. After speed skating, I'm gonna hurt my back. No, we're doing delts first. Because that's my heavier thing. My quad's already taxed, so I kind of just, hamstrings are really that taxing skating.